Alright, so it's just after 7 a.m. and we're about to head to Chichen Itza. In this video I'm going to tell you how much we paid, where we went, how it went, and what to expect on this trip. So I should give you a breakdown on where I am. I'm currently in Playa Del Carmen, and because it's very much a tourist town, expect higher prices. Although now it's the middle of September, so it's currently the off season. Now, I was originally planning on taking the ADO bus from Playa del Carmen to Chichen Itza, but after looking at round-trip tickets and the price of admission to Chichen Itza, I quickly realized the savings would only be between 200 to 300 pesos. After I realized this, I started shopping tours of Chichen Itza along 5th Avenue. Now, when you do this, you definitely have to be prepared to bargain. I was quoted as much as 2,800 pesos or 150 US dollars to a low of 750 pesos or 40 US dollars per person. The best deals I found was actually inside the ADO bus station in Playa del Carmen or from this travel agency along 5th Avenue. I was expecting people selling tours outside the tourist area of 5th Avenue to offer better prices, but that wasn't the case. Either way, I recommend checking out these two locations I mentioned and shopping around to see if you can get a better price. So I'm out here in Cancun and prices are a little bit cheaper. Chichen Itza is $30. I've seen as low as $25. If you're looking for a better deal, not sure why it's cheaper, but must be the location or something. Although remember, these prices are in the off season and I shopped around and negotiated. I suspect if you visit during the tourist months, prices are significantly higher with less room to negotiate. So this is the tour agency we used in Playa del Carmen. Their website seems to list higher prices, so remember to negotiate. We used this tour company, Group Sightseeing, and as far as I can tell, everyone in Playa del Carmen was selling the exact same tour experience. I'm sure there are others, but this seemed to be the default tour experience, and as I'm about to show you, it's worth experiencing. Now, there's a couple things you need to know about this tour. They do pick you up from your hotel, and since the journey to Chichen Itza is a few hours drive, be prepared. There's a lot of upselling on this tour. So you should at minimum bring 100 extra pesos per person for tipping and souvenirs. Bring food, snacks, water, bug spray, and sunscreen. They offer all these on the tour, but they are expensive. During the trip, they provide you with a lot of information on the Mayan people. It was a mixed English and Spanish tour, so it can be a little long but very informative. They show you how the Mayan people kept records and made paper, as shown here. This is an example of what a Mayan book would look like. And this would be an example of their numbering system. The Mayan people strongly believed in the medicine man. They would act as a medium between the real world and the spirit world, and was someone who was highly regarded in the Mayan culture. One of the more interesting parts of this tour is you really get to see authentic Mexican and Mayan towns. This Mayan town, shown here, still has a large population of native Mayan speakers. The first stop in our tour was to the Hibicu cenote just north of Violin, Mexico. It was a 3-hour bus ride from Playa del Carmen. Now, when you are on this tour, the biggest issue is time. They only stop here for 2 hours, which includes an all-you-can-eat buffet. They do a small dance performance while you eat, and entrance into the cenote. There are other things you can do like a tequila room, a gift shop, and a Mayan replica village, but we just didn't have time to visit them. The main attraction is definitely the cenote. A cenote is a natural sinkhole resulting from the collapse of limestone bedrock that exposes groundwater underneath. As you can see, the cenote gets very busy as most bus tours seem to stop here. For the price of the tour, you get admission to the cenote, all-you-can-eat buffet, and everything else I mentioned other than drinks. It's a fantastic deal, but 2 hours goes very quickly. This cenote is beautiful, well kept, over 100 feet deep with crystal clear blue water. Before we headed back, the tour stops in the city of Violin, Mexico. This city is surrounded in Mexican history and culture. The tour stops in the city center and focuses on this Catholic church. This location was once a Mayan city that was taken over by the Spanish in the 16th century. It was demolished and rebuilt to what you see here. As you can see, it was raining, so I didn't get a lot of footage, but the city center is a magnet for most tour buses as they head back to their destination. We only spent 30 minutes here, so use your time wisely. Now to the main attraction of the tour, Chichen Itza. Obviously the tour begins here at the most iconic Mayan temple, Kukulkan, also known as El Castillo. I'm sorry if I pronounced any of that wrong. Seeing this temple in person is spectacular. If you are in the area, I highly recommend it. Entrance to Chichen Itza was covered by our tour, but cost of admission to this site was just over 200 pesos per person for foreigners. If you arrive here before the tour buses, you most likely have the place to yourself and you can hire a tour guide to give you a private tour. Unfortunately, if you take the tours they sell at the resort towns, you end up with a limited amount of time at Chichen Itza. We had a 45-minute tour and an hour and a half of free time to explore and take pictures. Next, our tour guide led us to the Great Ball Court. It's hard to capture how impressive this site is. Almost 500 square feet with walls going up 26 feet high. Mayans would play a team of 7 where they would somehow get a stoned rock thrown through the hoop of the walls without using their feet or hands. A game of death where Mayans would play against slaves. The tour ended at the Temple of Warriors and the Plaza of 1,000 Columns, which was used as a civic and for religious purposes. Alright, so that's the end of the trip. This is Chichen Itza. It was a lot of fun. That's what you can expect for the private tours. There's lots of vendors here. Everyone's selling everything for about $1 US, 20 pesos. I feel really bad for them because they're all competing and it looks tough. So I hope you support them. Thanks for watching. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. Until later, I'll see you later.